Hello everybody, sorry about that little mix-up of the streaming. Of course, me being the IT person, I hit the wrong button. So, I want to say hello to everybody on the stream, and today we are going to be doing a game called On the Origin of Species. I always want to say the origins of species, but it's actually not, it's Origin of Species. So this is a new game. We've only played it a couple times, we just got a chance to pick it up last weekend. So we played it a couple times during the week and figured we'd play it on no strings attached because, hey, there's no strings attached. So the game is going to be played until the Beagle here, which is the ship that we're on, reaches the end. And I guess we are both playing Charles Darwin. We're both trying to do observations and discover different animals. So we've kind of done we've just kind of set up these cards. We're going to go and set up the rest of the game now. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at this deck of cards and figure out where the starting plants are. So I'm just going to turn the random one over, and we have these plants. And I'll talk about what happens during the game with these plants. Now these go aside. We're then going to set up the 3 intermediate scoring things. So again, we're going to pick one of these cards at random. And each of these cards will show a... let's see if I can hold this up. It shows a date on it, and it shows you what you're going to be scoring on that date. So I am going to take I just want to double check everything. So I'm going to take one of these anchors. I'm going to put it on the 22nd of that. So we're going to do the same thing for number 2 as the 28th. And then number 3. So these are all going to be the intergame scoring. When the ship reaches these anchors, that is when we will score these. And then finally, we're doing 10, 13, 16th here. And then finally, Lella's going to pick one of the end of game scoring, and that's going to, of course, happen at the end of the game. Usually has related to books. So, for example, some of these intermediate scoring. This one here says the person who has the most observation cubes around the boat when it's here is going to score 4 points. This one here, you're going to score 2 points for every map that you have, and you're going to be getting maps through these cards here, and this one is actually the same thing. The final one here is going to be, I believe it's the total number of books that you have. We'll explain this as we go along. So now that the basics is set up, you have 2 things to do on your turn. Well, I should say you have 2 options to do things on your turn, and you can only take 1 action on your turn. The first thing you're going to be able to do is take an observation. To do observations, you're going to take 2 of your observation cubes, and you're going to put them on different tiles that are currently out there. So I could place it there and there. What that means is I now am observing 2 sea life and 1 sea life and 1 vegetation. So what do you need this for? Well, that's where these tiles come into play. So we're going to randomly deal out 7 here. I'm going to deal out 7 there. And the goal of the game is that we want to be discovering these animals. And these animals require you to, of course, observe in their natural habitat. So the more difficult animals there are, the more of that habitat you're going to have to be observing. And there are 4 different levels. The levels are dictated here in the bottom left-hand corner, and I'll just kind of hold this one up to the camera so you can see it. So this shows that it is a level 1 animal. It also shows you at the top what you need, what observations you need to find this animal. So this says you have to have 1 yellow or 1 feather, and 2 of anything that you want. So that's the other option you can do on your turn. You can either put out discovery cubes, or you can discover an animal on the side here. So let's say I wanted to discover an animal. Let's say I had those cubes there, for example. I can now discover this animal here because I have this cube here is worth 1 feather, and this cube here, or both these cubes, are worth 2 leaves. This one says 1 feather and 2 of anything. So I would, on my turn, instead of putting stuff out, I would remove these 3, and wherever I put this has to be adjacent to the cubes I just took off. I can't put it here, I can't put it down here, it has to come from somewhere around here. So I could basically place it here or here, because it has to be adjacent to the places I took it off. So I could place it here. Across the bottom says I got 1 point, so I'd move my turtle. I get to pick one of these cards, which shows the yellow card here, and the ship moves 1 spot. Every time you make a discovery, the ship is going to move 1 or 2 spots, and that's going to basically push the game along. And again, when the ship reaches the ending score is when the game ends. And that's it. You're literally just going to be doing those 2 things on your, one thing on your turn, either putting cubes out or taking cubes back to discover one of the animals. We do have different cards you can get. As you saw from discovering some of these animals, you are going to be able to get some of these cards. You basically have different types of the foliage cards, like that correspond to the we pulled here are all people, and they're going to give you one-time special abilities. The big thing that you need from this game, and we played it a couple times, we're not 100% sure we like this rule. If you notice these top 3 animals here, show a map beside it. In each one of these decks, there is 1 map. When you get a map, you place it face up in front of you. You can now discover these 3 animals. If you do not have a map, you can, I guess, separate the more difficult animals, because we will be putting the animals out in levels. So you notice this is level 1, followed by the level 2s, 3s, and 4s. The rest of the ones are randomly put here in 3 different piles. And when we find a creature, we're going to, of course, replacing it in the area that it is. So, I guess I'll go first.
Go ahead.
Okay. So the first round is going to be pretty boring, because all you need to do is build up your resources. And again, when you place these discovery cubes, they have to go on different ones. And of course, we've only got 8 cubes in total to start with. If you have less than 2 cubes you want to do an observation, you are allowed to move your cubes that are already on the board to other places. But normally, once they're there, they're there. So I'm going to place 1 here and 1 here. That's my turn done. So now it's going to be over to Lella.
I'm probably going to do the same thing.
Yeah, that's the one. Like I said, we're still learning this game. Do you start off a bonus? Yeah, so Lella should have received one point to start off with.
Woohoo!
Basically, because if you kind of look at it, I'm going to be able to get one of the easy ones first. So it kind of offsets that by saying, okay, this person who goes second can get a bonus. So of course, I'm going to go here and here.
Let's see. Always have to put on a different square. You can't put 2 on the same. Well, look at the options here.
Yes, that's very imaginative. Okay, so now I get a chance to discover. So I was saying I'm going to discover this moth. Now, I should say, before we start playing this game, Lella does have a degree in biology. And a couple of years ago, we'd actually looked into going to the Galapagos Islands for a trip. Unfortunately, that didn't work out. So I am going to discover this, and again, I have to use cubes that are going to be adjacent to where I place this tile. So I need 1 feather, and I need 2 of anything. So I might pull that cube off there and that cube off there. So I basically paid my 3 resources, and they go back into here. So I get 1 point. I get one of these cards, and the ship moves 1 spot. And I'm going to place it there. So now that this animal is being discovered, you can now use it for its resource. So you can now put cubes on this person to get a feather. And the further, the higher...
It's a wing.
Sorry, wing. Is it a wing or is it...
It's a wing.
Okay, it's a wing. Again, she has the biology degree. I do not. We're now going to replace it, and I can technically pull off any tile. Since the beginning of the game, I'm going to be nice. I'm going to pull out another level 1. So the level 1s have 1 thing on the back, the level 2s have 2, 3s have 3, 4s don't have anything, but they are worth the most points. And when you get, if I just show you an example of a level 2 one. So if I put 1 cube on here, this cube is worth 2 wings. So as the game goes on, you're going to kind of building up larger and larger kind of stockpiles. I'm going to have a quick look at my card. So this example of a card that I have, so you can see that card there gives me 2 of those resources. So I can spend this on my turn to help pay for it. If I pay for something completely with cards, it can go anywhere on the board. And we'll talk about replacing tiles in a bit when it's going to come up. But you can replace lower level tiles with higher level tiles.
Okay. I'm going to go here. Here.
Okay, so Lella can get this. Probably going to be able to get this. So I'm going to place one here.
All right, I'm going to go for this one. So I have 2 leaves, a wing, and I shall do another. Did I do that right?
Good. So you're doing that one, right?
2 leaves.
So you need a total of 5
yes.
resources. So she needs one more.
Take this one. Okay.
So again, because all of her cubes came off here, the only place that she can put it is going to be here.
So I get 2 points. I get a yellow or a green. Green. I get one of these cards.
So she can either take one of the face-up ones or just top deck it.
What does this one do?
He allows you to just take one of these tiles and place it in front of you. When you replace tiles, you're going to be placing the tile in front of you. At the end of the game, those tiles are going to be worth 1 bonus point. So this basically will give you a point because you can take it off here. You can also use it to mess with other people, because if Lella sees I'm going for, let's say, this one or one of the higher ones, if I had a map, she could just take it away from me and say, I'm going to play my card and get rid of it.
Okay. So the ship moves once.
Ship is on its way.
And this one goes here.
Yeah. Now, again, because that's a level 2, when you put a cube on there, that cube is going to be worth 1 green, or 1 leaf, and 1 wing.
I'm going to cash this in now.
Okay.
And I'll just grab the top one here.
Okay, so now we have to replace.
Replace it with another 4.
Victor says that they refer to them as air, land, and water. Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
Since they are, I believe they are supposed to represent habitats that you're looking at. Okay, so my turn. I am going to go... I'm going to go here. And I'm going to go here. Okay.
Got.
I also find that this is a game where it kind of starts off slow. As you know, so, I mean, the ship hasn't moved very much. We haven't got very... The game really starts to pick up speed kind of middle to the second half of the game. Okay, so I can discover this bird. I have 2 air and 2 land. So I'm going to go there. I get 2 points. I can take a yellow or green, so I'm going to take a green. I'm going to take... Oh, this one should have been refilled after Lella took it. I'm going to take the dissection. Dissection gives me 1 of each. Like that one. And the ship moves 1 spot. It's over. The other thing I like about this game, when you have discovered an animal, it is named on here. Doesn't mean very much to me, but I like that they did put the scientific name on it.
Okay. Oh, refill, correct?
Oh, yes. And take another. Whenever you take a new tile, you also place it on top of the number that it is. So since there's already a 2 on here, I'm going to place it above it. So, for example, if it was like this, you'd move this one down and place it on top of there.
I'm going to go here. And here.
Mm-hmm. Let me look at my birds. I think I'm going to go here and here.
Okay. I'm going to use my card here, which gives me 2 land. which allows me to discover this beetle.
Yeah. And again, because she used the card basically to pay for everything, it can go anywhere on the board.
And 1 point.
When it's standing up like this, so we put it on the side.
I'm going to put it right here.
Okay. So
oh, I forgot to refill. These.
This one here. And you need to be thinking about what you're going to be doing after take. Go here.
Okay. I'm going to go here.
Okay, so I'm going to discover this crab here. Here. The 1 sea, 1 air and land. I need 1 of anything, so I should take that one there. So
2 points.
2 points. I get a blue or green, so I'm going to take that. I'm going to take 1 off the top, and the ship moves 1 spot.
Refill.
I'll put a. They're asking why the placement of the tiles matter after you discover them. It's an interesting. You're placing them adjacent to where you take the cubes, and it is important because as you open up more areas, you're adding the greater resources, which kind of isolates the middle ones, but then you can replace the middle ones. So where they go on the board is where you can expand to next, and it's just a game mechanism. And you know, in some ways, it makes sense. If I'm looking for this, like this crab I just discovered, it needed those, you know, needed observations in those territories, which means it kind of has to be close to where you observed. If you're looking in the forest for a forest creature, then that's really where it should be discovered. But game-wise, I think it means that you can't kind of isolate, you can't kind of build your own engine in one area and say, you know, I'm going to place a whole bunch of tiles here and kind of make this my area. This way, you're kind of forced to deal with everybody else. Everybody's placing on the same area.
So I can move cubes, right?
Yes. So you place that 1 cube, and if you you can then move another cube that's already on the board of you. I believe it's to. Just double check whether it's anywhere
or adjacent.
Or is it just adjacent? If you want to do research. If you have fewer than 2 observation cubes remaining, you may move cubes from other tiles instead. It doesn't say it has to be adjacent, so you can move them anywhere.
Yep.
Okay. Got. I'm going to go here. And I'm going to go here.
All right. So I'm going to discover this little fellow down here. So we all need ants. So this will give me land and air. And then I'll take 1 from here. So I got 1 point. I get an additional green card. And the ship moves once. And because I drew from down there, our little ant friend goes down here.
Okay, so I'm going to put the ship this way. So we've now come to our first intermediate scoring. So scoring number 1 is this guy here. So this one says, this scoring says whoever has the most cubes around the ship is going to score 4 points. Well, according to this, we've got 3. Lella's got more than 3. So Lella's going to get 4 points. And I'm going to get 3 points. Connect over, and that comes off the board. So, my turn.
Oh, I have to
we got to
replace,
refill.
sorry.
Yeah.
2.
So I'm going to discover this one here. So I need 3 water, 1, 2, 3, 1 air, I thought I saw a fish. I did not. I'm going to put 2 cubes out. I'm going to put a cube there, and I'm going to put a cube there.
Okay. Huh.
Okay, I hope no one saw that, and I hope it's not recorded.
It's okay. We all make silly mistakes. Not a lot of options here. Okay.
Now I'm pretty sure I saw this fish. So I need 1, 2, 3. And essentially 3 water, 1 air, and 3 of anything. So these 2 cubes, each cube counts as both. That's another 4 resources there, including air. So I get these back. I get 3 points. I get a blue. And I think I'm going to take... I think I'm going to take off the top. And the ship moves twice. Just 1, 2. And so I took off here and here, so I'm going to place this one.
Refill.
I'm going to refill with the 3. Yeah, if only this wasn't live, I probably could edit it so no one saw that mistake.
Well, I'm going to move things.
You kind of painted yourself into a picture, haven't you?
I did.
Into a corner, I should say.
Very silly.
I'm going to go here and
I think I saw silk guy. Oh, I need 2 water, which I get with 1. And then that'll give me a leaf. And then I'll get another leaf there.
that's air.
Yeah. Did the wrong thing, sorry. Alright, so 2 points. Either get a blue. I'll take blue. And I shall take one of these cards. Oh, I like the anatomical one. Who hasn't dissected a frog? And the ship moves once. And because I drew them from here, he goes there. I'll turn another card over. And then I shall refill.
They're all 3. Not a lot of 3s right now.
Yeah, lots of 3s. So let's bring this guy. Okay. Doing pretty good for that, but
Now I did have a plan. Cunning plan at that. That is 2 and 2. I'm thinking. Problem with thinking on a Friday night. It's been a long week.
It has.
there. And someone's asking about the scoring markers. Yes, our scoring ones here are actually little turtles.
Cute.
Yeah, little kind of turtles here. They're blank on one side. The suggestion is, because the track only goes up to 30, that once you pass 30, you flip it over so you know that you have plus 30. But yes, they are little turtles. The little markers here are little anchors. Are nice.
Yeah.
So someone says, how good is this game with two? I think with 2 players, it's going to be more strategic of where you're going to be placing the cubes. I can see this with 4 players because the board size doesn't change with 4 players. The only thing that changes for 4 players is what people start with. So there's going to be a lot more cubes, a lot more people kind of going after this. But I find with 2 players, you're kind of able to plan of which one you want to go after. Yes, Lella could take the one I'm going after, but I feel like I have a little more control over where they're going to go, what creatures I'm going to be able to discover. Okay, so now I am going to discover. So I'm going to discover this one here. So I need 3 land, so that, and 2 air. I already have 3 air, and 1 sea. That gets me 3 points. I get to take a. I'm going to take a green, I think. Green card, and I'm going to take one of these off. The books don't do anything during the game, but you always need books for the final. That. And now the beagle moves twice. 2. And this guy I'm actually going to put here. So this is the first time it's happened. I'm actually covering up a lower level animal. So Lella's cube is on here. So she's going to take that cube back. I get this to place in front of me, and this comes down here. Now, because I basically kicked Lella's observation cube off, she's going to get a point for that.
Woohoo!
I do get a point at the end of the game for having this guy, but she does get a point. Now, if I knock my own cube off, I don't get anything for it. I just bring my cubes back. So I'm going to bring out a 2. 2 is going to go there. I'm going to have a look at the. Okay, so I finally got one.
I now have scoring.
Oh yes, before I do that. So the beagle passed here, so now we do scoring. So this one here says you can get 2 points for every map card that you have in your hand. Interesting. So during the scoring, so when I scored this,
you didn't have it yet.
I didn't have it yet, but I got it before I moved the ship.
True. I'll give it to you because I'm nice.
Okay, so I picked up a map. So I have one in my hand. So this one says I get 2 points for it. And so put that there. And then again, if Lella has a map in her hand.
Nope.
So now that I have this map, again, it doesn't do anything here-wise, but now I can discover these 3 animals well. So I now have a choice of all these animals to discover. When you get this early on in the game, we found maybe a bit unbalanced. Again, we haven't played this game a lot, but I did find that this map card, because it opens up these kind of these top ones, and they tend to be the higher point ones, if you can start working on them early, you're able to kind of get those points going early on. Again, it's just from the first few plays, but it does feel a little, I don't know, I'm not so sure I like the way the map works. This is actually a reprint of a earlier game. So I don't believe the earlier one was in English. Of course, you can correct me if I'm wrong. And that original game, every time you wanted to discover one of these, you had to discard a map from your hand. Now, with the Artano one, the one we're playing, this is now permanent in front of me. If I get another one, it's going to be useless to me.
I'm going to move this one. I had only the one you kicked off. I'm going to put that here. Actually, needed the one you kicked off. Thank you very much.
Okay. I'm going to go here and here.
Okay. So, I am going to discover this seal. Alright. So, I need 3 water. 3 water, which can be accomplished with... Now, can I use this tile and this tile, or do they have to be adjacent? Oops.
No, it's whatever tiles you're paying with, this tile has to go adjacent to them. So if you played with those two, it has to go there.
Okay.
Or there.
Okay. Oh, I could... I thought you said you couldn't... This has to move.
It would have to move, but you technically could place it there.
Okay. So this one, I need 3. So between these two, I have 4. The 2 greens will come from here, and then I'm more than overkilled on the random. So I don't need to use that. Okay. I got myself 3 points. 1, 2, 3. I get either a blue or a green. I will take a blue. And I shall take one of these cards. I want to go here because I am looking for... not that. Okay. And the ship moves twice.
Okay. 1, 2. Side so you can see the nice ship.
I will put it here.
Yeah. So again, she did have the option to place it here because she used those 2 tiles to pay for it. So she could have done that, but because now her cubes are kind of isolated here, she could still use those cubes. But, you know, anyway.
Oh, I have to replace.
Yeah.
Let's get an easy one.
Okay. So my plan... Okay, so I'm going to discover the snake, this guy here. So I need 2 land, so I'm going to take that cube there and this card. So I have 2 land here. I've got 1, so I'm going to take this one too, so I got my 1 water. And I've got the 2, technically 3 air to pay off the 2 wild that I need. Is going to go here. So I get 2 points. I'm going to take a blue. I'm going to take 1 off the top. And the ship moves 1.
Okay.
And I'm going to pull out a 2. It's going to, oh, sorry, that's a 3. It's going to go there. Okay. While I was thinking, I'll, for example, these one-time use cards. This person here allows you to place a cube where someone else already has a cube. This one here is when you take the observation thing. Instead of placing out 2 cubes, you can place 3 cubes. This one allows you to move one of your cubes anywhere and move the boat twice. So if you want to speed up the game, this is the card that you use. I'm not sure either one of us is ready to be speeding up the game just yet.
Okay. So, I am going to do the blue-footed booby. I need 3 marine here. Actually, I could just take 2, because then I'll take this one, will give me 3. And that gives me 1 air, and then I have 2 air, 2 anything here with this card. That's enough. And because it's a level 3, I'll be able to replace this one. So this comes to me. And I'll get 3 points. 2, 3. I get either a yellow. I'll go for a yellow this time. One of those. Okay. Get one of these. Oh, for heaven's sakes. I can't get a map to save my life. And the ship moves twice. Okay, and refill. I'm gonna go easy because I'm struggling. I can't get to these guys because I don't have a map.
so I think I'm going to go... here. There. There.
I'm going to go here and here.
It was funny. It's the only bird Lella knew when we played this before was the blue-footed booby. So I'm gonna go here and
I
here.
used to know all these things. It's been a while. It's been a long time, actually. Okay.
Yeah, the other interesting thing is, I'm not sure whether we are dueling Darwins, because Darwin is not a character on the board. So all these characters that have come up through the Beagle deck are people from the voyage that Darwin was on. Fitzroy was the captain. I always forget how you pronounce the name. Was it Yokushli? Was a native from the area that was captured and brought back to England, and she was able to speak English, so she came back on the boat ride with Darwin. Richard Matthews. Nice thing also is the back of the book has basically all the little histories of everybody.
It's quite nice, actually.
It's quite nice, but Darwin's not in the game.
Because we're him.
I guess we're Darwin, but then it feels kind of weird that we're... I think someone said at the beginning that we are dueling Darwins.
We're dueling Chucks. I placed my 2 cubes.
Okay. So I'm going to place out the turtle. Now again, I can choose the turtle because I have the map, the secret map to where the turtle lives. So I need 4 leaves, so each of these is worth 2. 4 land and 4 sea, and these 2 both count towards 2. So I have to place it here. So I take my cube back, Lilla takes her cube back, but she gets a point for it. This is one of the starting tiles. I do not get the starting tile, it has to move. So it's going to move to another empty spot. So I'm going to put it... I'll put it up here. So I get 4 points. I get 2 cards, which are either blue or green, so I'm going to take one of each. That. And then the ship moves twice. The ship's 1, 2. So next time the ship moves, we are going to have a mid-game scoring. So you notice that he's a level 4. He doesn't produce any observations. So there's no point in putting cubes on him. And then we refill. I'll refill with a 3, and again we put it at the top of the 3.
Okay. I am going to discover this little fellow here. So I need 3. I've got 2 here. I can use this one, which gives me an air relief. So that'll do that. So I need 5, so that's 2, 4, so this covers it. And it's a level 2, so I can't cover that up. But I can put it here. So I'll get 2 points. Get a green. And I'll take one of these cards. Come on, no. No map for me.
And the ship
moves once.
So we come to the last mid-game scoring. Again, you get 2 points for each map. Each map that you have left in your hand, or that's in Players reveal the appropriate cards and return them to their hand. Kind of odd for the map tiles. Because it says the map you play and leave the map in front of you when taking a discover action in order to be able to discover any species tiles in the evolution. So I guess I've used mine, so I don't get the 2 points.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it says from your hand, and then you return it to the hand. And when you take the discover action, technically is when you play this to take one of those. So I guess keeping it in my hand, I could have got an extra 2 points for here.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Okay, so now we are racing towards the. Someone was asking through the what the ship is for. The ship is the end game timer. When the ship reaches the end of game.
Yep.
And every time we do a discovery, the ship moves forward.
Yep.
Okay, so I want to go here and.
All right. Oh, this is kind of frustrating. I'm gonna go here and here.
Okay. And I'm gonna go here and here again.
So I now have 4 leaves. So I'm gonna bring this canary-like creature. It's probably, or it's a fin. I don't know. I never did ornithology, so don't blame me on this one. Okay, so that's 4 air. I get 2 points. Boop. I get a yellow. And come on, give me a map. Ship moves once. And because I use these 2, this guy's going down there. And I shall bring in another single pointer. Go right here.
Okay. I am going to discover this guy here. So 5 land. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Counts for 2 water. I'm overpaying water by 1. And I'm going to be playing the Scalpel. So the Scalpel says that I get to increase the turtle level by 1. So he's technically a level 5 turtle. Means I can replace this guy here.
He's not a turtle. Oh, you mean that thing?
Yes.
Sorry.
To the point. So he comes off the board. I place this one here. So I get 4 points. 4. I get 2. Again, I'm going to take one of each. And the ship moves twice. We go 1, 2. And put this over.
Replace.
And we're going to replace it with a 4. Now, just to make Lella feel bad, I picked up another one.
Ugh. Salt in my wounds. Well, this stinks. What have I got? Since I'm doing so great, I'm just going to use my card with my binoculars. I have 2 air. I'm going to discover this. It looks like a Sphinx moth to me. I get 1 point. I get 1 yellow card. And the ship moves once. So I could put it wherever I want, really.
Yep.
So I'll shove it down here because this is becoming air quarter here. And, well, let's bring in a 3. This 3 goes all the way up here.
And the ship moves once.
Yes.
So we're getting pretty close to the end of the game. Yeah, no trading allowed. That map is mine. Okay. I'm going to go 1 here and 1 here. Where's that Scalpel? Someone said I should leave you some map cards. Nope.
Yeah, you should.
They are my map cards.
My map card.
Problem is, she's not friendly to the locals. I have a way with the locals.
I don't want to know how you had a way with the locals. Okay.
I meant with my smooth tongue. I'm a good orator.
Yeah, whatever. I am going to move No, I'm not. I'm just going to use my card because, again, I'm getting quite desperate. So this is an anything, so I'm going to discover another beetle. Because of all the animals, beetles make up more than 60% of all the species. So we used to joke and say that God was a beetle in university. Don't be offended, people. It's not a thing. This... Why am I holding this? I don't know why I'm holding that. I gave myself a point. I'm taking a blue. Okay, that's good. At least I'm getting that. And I can put this wherever I want. So guess what? I'm going to put it right here. Ha ha!
And the ship moves one.
Yes, it does. Where's it going? It's going up here. Woo!
Yeah, it's almost at the end of its voyage.
Almost. Yep, we're October 20th.
So
and
replace the card.
Let's see. I will put a 2 to help myself. I can't believe how poorly. Anyway, this is. I think Graeme might have this one.
Okay, I'm gonna go here and here.
All right, let me see. I'm trying to desperately grab everything that I can. Let's see. That's 2. It's a marine and anything. Oh, I have to. This.
One, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to use this card. I'm going to discover this owl. So I need 4 air. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 3. No, I'm thinking. So 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would have got 1, 2, 3 for there.
Yeah, you got more than enough.
Yeah. This guy, so I took them off here to place the snake. So I got 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. I get 2, so I'm going to take that one and that one. And the ship moves twice, and that ends the game. So what happens if someone had said if you fill up all the spots, so as you just saw, you can replace lower level animals with higher level animals. So you're never going to run out of room on the board. You're always going to be able to replace.
If you could discover them, though.
Yeah. So the reason why I hesitated at the end is now that the game is over, we're going to evaluate first the board stage. We're going to look at all the animals on the board and look at who has majority on them. So I have no cubes left on the board. So Lella has majority for these 3 tiles. So she gets to take those 3 tiles.
So that's a starter tile.
Oh, sorry, yes. So she gets to take those 2 tiles.
Do you want to double check?
Yeah. Start just having a quick look at the rules. Ending the game. First, check the species tiles in play for each tile. It says for each tile. It doesn't say starting or not.
Okay.
You take the tile.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Because Lella's now going to score. I just gave Lella 3 points by ending it when I did. But
well, that's because you took my math.
So we will score 1 point for each of our animal tiles. So I will score 3.
I'll score 5.
1, 2, 3, 4. 5.
I need all the help I can get.
I think you have a lot of book cards. So now we come to scoring the final.
How does this work?
So this is Cape Town. Cape Town, and a little handy sheet here. So for each habitat type, players receive points for the total books collected as shown. So we're going to look at all the green books you have, all the blue books you have, and all the yellow books, and depending on how many you have of each one, you're going to be getting points for that. So basically split them up into the different...
All right.
Okay, so how many green books do you have?
6.
Okay, so Lella's got 6, so she's going to get 5 points for that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many blue?
6.
6, so she's going to get another 5 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I have 4 yellow.
4 yellow is going to get you 3. 3. So I've got 3, 5, 7, 8 blue.
I'm done.
So 8 blue gets me 7 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blues. Greens, I have 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 greens, which is going to give me 10 points. 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And yellow, I've got 2 yellows, which get me 1 point. And that is it. So that is the end of the game. I just want to say I'm undefeated in this, even though Lella has a biology degree. So I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just saying that I won again. There is an expert variant that is with the game. You can hand out. So there are, as you saw, there's multiple like level 1 cards. And if you kind of look at the cards, you'll see that there are different creatures on them. So for the advanced game, you still put one here, but everybody gets, I believe, 1 of each. Yes. And you want to collect this particular creature from the board. So you would want to have this one in front of you. So you want to kind of basically have replaced it with something else. So that's what the advanced game does. You get 3 of these cards. You get the level 1, level 2s, and level 3s. For example, like to get a level 3, you'd have to replace that one. So it's a way that you can get extra points, and depending on how many that you've got, so you want to collect these 3 and the 3 that you have from your hand. If you can get all 6 tiles in front of you, you're going to score 20 points. So that's really the only thing that there is for an advanced variant. I thought it was kind of a neat advanced variant. So let's see. Before we go, let's any questions?
See how many maps there are.
I believe there's 1 map in each color. So, do you have a link to your board game list? Can we have some suggestions for you to play or to buy? If you go on Board Game Geek, my geek handle is Gray Player, Gray Player. Lists should have all my games on there, except for the most current stock that I just bought, which is Stampede, Wild Space, this, and Teotihuacan. So if you do want to have a suggestion, have a look there, and just message me on Board Game Geek if you want to do that. But yeah, it's Gray Player, and it's my avatar is a drinking skeleton. And someone suggested that we should have it next time we play Facing Lella. Because this Graeme clearly does not need the right side up reading advantage. I will say, this is the 3rd time we've played this, and this is the first time the board's been facing me.
Oh!
So I'm just saying. Yeah, so if there are no other questions, I'll give it another couple minutes. So just for what's happening next week, if you haven't heard, the Spiel Digital's happening next week, and the Dice Tower is involved with that. So they're going to be doing a lot of live streaming throughout the day. I believe it's Tuesday to Friday or Tuesday to Saturday. Tom just posted a thing on Facebook with the schedule, and you can go look at the YouTube Dice Tower channel as well and kind of see what games are we playing there. We're not playing anything in that. So I'm not sure whether next Friday we're going to have a no strings attached. I'm not sure what Tom wants to do with that. But if not, we'll definitely be back on the 30th, I believe, 2 weeks from now.
Yes.
So, yeah, someone was saying Board Game Geek link have some suggestions. Maybe for the 30th you can suggest again that we can play. I was thinking of Lobotomy, because it's right before Halloween. It is a mature rated game, so I'm not sure whether Tom's going to like that or not. But maybe pull out a horror game that we have. So I guess if there's no more questions for us, we shall end the stream. Hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, this is a new game that we just picked up on the weekend. Got to play it a couple times this week. I bought it mainly for Lella for the theme. I do
not that helps.
I do like the game. As you saw, it's pretty quick, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
But the only thing I have an issue with are these map cards.
The map cards, that really puts you at a disadvantage of not being able to take, because you could see from the higher species, really, because it's going by species, you get many more benefits, and those cards are invaluable. They give you so many different things. Like I didn't even get a chance to use some of the moving my cubes, because I barely had cubes on the board. So, so sour grapes.
Yeah, but enjoyable game. Definitely if you see it, and hopefully you've seen enough to see whether they're interested in it. Like I said, it's quick. It works reasonably well with 2 players. I haven't played it with more players than that, but I could see it 2 players. If you are looking for a 2-player game, this might be the one that you want to pull out. There's a little more, as you saw, there's a little more depth to it, a little more than just placing out cubes, because you're trying to kind of build up what you're going to be able to get. And and someone was saying that they should have the map card, something you could have the option to buy, which I think it's not a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea.
I would like to be able to say...
You're such at a disadvantage. Like, give up some of your book cards.
Yeah.
Because you're publishing your literature.
Yeah, because your book cards...
took forever to publish.
So I believe that level 4s have always to do with books. So maybe giving up a couple points to get a map card may be worthwhile. Maybe not first round, but maybe after, it gets to the point when the first round is very expensive to buy the map card, but each round it kind of gets less and less expensive until it becomes, okay, now, everybody should have a map card.
I should have brought my Charles Darwin finger puppet. That's why I lost.
Okay, so I think that is going to wrap it up. So until next time, thanks for watching.
Bye.